Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Adam the Fanatic, and today we're taking a look at Mons and Mages, a monster-catching themed engine-building card game by Leviath Games. Please bear in mind that this is a preview based off of an unfinished prototype. As such, nothing is finalized, and anything seen herein is subject to change. Without any further ado, let's dive in! In Mons and Mages, 2 to 4 players will be competing to collect a sequence of monsters that will defeat their opponents. Players will take turns recruiting monsters and manipulating their abilities in an attempt to outlast their opponents. The last mage standing will be the winner. To set up, begin by separating monsters by their origins. Origins are listed at the top of the card, and there are 5 in total: Dragon, Ghost, Giant, Siren, and Woodland. Choose a number of origins equal to the number of players plus 1, so simply use all 5 if playing with 4 players. For this example, we'll be setting up for a 2-player game using the Dragons, Sirens, and Woodland Mons. Make sure that there are no solo mode cards among the chosen origins, then separate them into the A deck and B deck. Take the 3 monsters with no origin, Pot, Tusk, and Creus, and add them to the B deck. Shuffle the A deck and deal out 3 cards. Then shuffle out the B deck and deal out 3 cards, plus an additional card for each player. Make sure that the growth, mana, dungeon, and runestone tokens and dice are within easy reach of all players. Next, shuffle up the basic trick deck and deal out 3 cards to each player. Each player chooses 1 to keep and places the other 2 face down to be used as meditation markers. Depending on the basic trick card you choose, it may instruct you to reveal it immediately. Otherwise, keep it hidden until you're ready to use it. Each player also receives 3 cards from deck B and chooses to reserve 1 of them, placing it face down and sideways. Anytime a player may claim a card, they may choose to claim one of their reserved cards rather than one from the wild. Shuffle the unchosen cards back into deck B. Each player should also take 8 runestones from the reserve. Mind that they are double-sided, with one side representing 1s and the other 3s. Shuffle up the advanced trick deck and deal out 3 to each player. Players shouldn't look at these yet, but set them in a row, placing 3 mana cubes on the first card and 1 cube on each of the others. Each player then takes a staff and 2 health tracker cubes of the same color. Place the staff to the left of your advanced trick cards and place the HP trackers according to the number of players. In this case, the first player will start with 50 HP, while the second player will start with 51 HP and chooses one of the origin reference cards in order to take the favor listed on the bottom of it. They may activate it once during the game to offset the first player advantage. And with that, you're ready to begin. A player's turn in Mons and Mages consists of 5 steps. The first step is to check if you're stunned. If you currently have 3 or more stun tokens, then you're stunned. In this case, you'll remove 3 stun tokens and have a reduced turn. Otherwise, you'll take a full turn. If you are stunned, simply take 1 runestone from the supply, advance your staff 1 card to the right, and do nothing else. You do not activate a mon you land on when you're stunned. Fortunately, being stunned will be somewhat rare. During a full turn, you'll still collect a runestone. However, you'll also collect 2 runestones from each meditation card that has them. But how do you get them on there? This brings us to the third step of your turn, the action phase. During your action phase, you may either claim a card, or you can meditate. In order to meditate, take up to 3 of your runestones and place them on one of your meditation cards. Then place an equal number from your reserve onto the same card. You may not meditate with the same card again until it is empty. The other option you may take during the action phase is to claim a monster. To claim a mon, take a look at the left side of the card and pay its cost in runestones. When you claim your first mon, place it to the right of your advanced trick cards, and any future mons will be placed to the right of all other mons you control unless specified otherwise. Some mons may also have a stun or imbue symbol. In the case of Mesmer, you would pay 5 mana. Because it has the stun symbol, you would also take a stun token. Additionally, it has the imbue symbol, so you would immediately place 1 mana on that mon. When claiming a mon, there are a number of other things to check. Firstly, if you have any advanced tricks with mana on them, remove 1 from the leftmost card. If this is the last mana on that card, then set it aside near your play area. After that, resolve the mon's origin ability, in this case, Siren, which means each of your opponents will take 1 stun token. Some origins, such as Dragon or Forest, will grow more powerful as you gather more monsters of the same origin. After resolving the origin, check to see if there are any abilities on the mon with a lightning bolt. For example, Mesmer has the Tidal Wave ability, which deals 1 damage to opponents for each Siren mon you have, and then you heal 1 HP for each Caretaker mon you have. Bear in mind that whenever you deal damage to all of your opponents. You do not choose a single enemy. If there's ability text with a yellow background, activate it now if you have the matching monster on your board. For example, Duke and Duchess will activate one another if you control both of them. Finally, abilities with a blue background are passive and may activate at any time specified upon them. But what's beneath the ability text? We'll get to that in a moment. The fourth phase of your turn is the Activate Staff phase. You'll move your staff one card to the right. If it's currently not on a card, simply move it to the next card over. If it's already on the rightmost card, it'll loop back around to the leftmost card. If you land on an advanced trick card, nothing happens. If you land on a mon or landmark, it will activate now. When you activate a card, begin by collecting any runestones that might be on it. If it's a mon, it attacks your opponent for its attack value. A mon's attack value is equal to its strength, indicated by the sword icon, plus the number of growth tokens it currently has. After that, you'll place 1 mana on the mon. That fills the monster's mana, represented by the leaf icons, it will discharge. This will activate both its class icon and the special text listed thereafter. For example, the aforementioned Caretaker class will place 1 growth marker on an adjacent mon. Then, if that's the only growth marker on that mon, it'll also place a rune token onto the same card. The final phase of your turn is the Trick Check phase. At this point, if you've removed all 3 advanced trick cards from your board, you'll check the 3 cards and choose one to keep. As with basic tricks, some will tell you to reveal and resolve them immediately, while others you'll have to wait until it's time to use them. This will happen after you have at least 5 mons in your board. Additionally, if you have 9 or more mons on your board when you reach this phase, you'll deal 5 damage to all other players, then skip this phase for the rest of the game. That can be a lot to keep track of, so let's play out an example turn. Here we are as a mage is about to begin their 6th turn. They have no stun tokens, so they'll take a full turn. They currently have no runes on their meditation cards, so they'll only take 1 rune from the supply, bringing them to a total of 9. For their action phase, they choose to purchase a mon from the wild, namely Cornubus. It costs 5 mana and will go to the end of their board. Before anything else happens, the player removes 1 mana from the leftmost advanced trick card and sets it aside now that there's no mana remaining on there. Since Cornubus has the woodland origin, the player gets to place 1 mana each on a number of mons equal to half their current woodland monsters rounded up. In this case, only 1, and they choose Flow of the Essential. This fills up its mana and causes it to discharge. Flow of the Essential is part of the Diffuser class, so when it discharges, it gives 1 mana to each of the mons adjacent to it. It then uses its Water Cycle ability, which gives itself 1 growth since Umbella is now full of mana. After that, Umbella immediately discharges. It too is a diffuser, so we'll place 1 mana back on Flow of the Essential, as well as 1 on Flaming Pride. Because of Bracing Rain, Flaming Pride will also gain 1 runestone. Once again, we have a mon ready to discharge. Flaming Pride is part of the Magic Addict class, so it can remove 1 mana from another mon on your board to resolve its ability twice. In this case, 1 is taken from Cornubus, and Flaming Pride gains 2 growth as a result of using its Getting Hotter ability twice. After that, Blue advances their staff to the next mon. When they land on Cornubus, it deals 2 damage to all enemies, then gains 1 mana. After that, the player's turn is over. Over the course of multiple rounds, things will tend to ramp up. Between removing the advanced trick cards and growth markers constantly coming onto monsters, players will tend to deal more damage as the game progresses. Things will continue on like this until only 1 player remains, at which point they're declared the winner. Also planned for the game are 2 different solo modes, Challenger and Duelist. Challenger isn't ready yet, but I was able to play Duelist. In Duelist mode, you'll choose an enemy duelist to face off against. Set up as you would for a 2-player game, but don't worry about setting up the boss card beyond what it says to do. When you're ready to begin, flip the boss card over, setting their starting health appropriately. In the case of Alice, she'll gain a mana every turn, and when she has 4, she'll catch a mon. When the AI catches a mon, roll 2 dice. If the dice both show the same class symbol, she'll claim a landmark. Otherwise, look at the leftmost die and she'll take a mon with its class symbol. If there are no such mons, use the other die. If neither symbol is currently present in the wild, re-roll and start again. After she claims a card, Alice has abilities to activate according to what she took, but the specific text of the card itself does not matter. The player will go back and forth with the AI. If you can get Alice to 0 HP before she does the same to you, then you've won. As this is a prototype copy, I'll not be going into component quality at this time. What I can say for the time being is that the artwork looks great, with a wide variety of colorful and creative creatures. But more than the mons themselves, I absolutely love the artwork on the landmark cards. This is the sort of top-notch art that really makes a game stand out. That aside, I also have to praise the clever design of the D6s. The top half is used for the Dragon Origin, while the bottom right is used for the Fighter class, and the bottom left is used for Solo mode. This does admittedly make them a little cluttered, but with everything rising in price, having one set of 6 identical dice does help cut costs compared to 3 sets of 6 dice each, and hopefully that will make the end product a little cheaper as well. All in all, Mons and Mages is a very unique take on the monster catching genre. Rather than directly combating your foes, it's a lot more abstracted as you're primarily focused on your own board. And this is intentional, as the designer has stated that he doesn't wish to have a take that style game. The part where the theme shines strongest is with the variety of different monsters and all the different abilities that they have. The origins and classes do of course mean that yes, there is some similarity between them, but they all have a level of uniqueness as well. Although, as I do believe that I have demonstrated in the rules explanation, this is a fairly complex game. With its clearly Pokemon-inspired theme, some may be wondering if it's appropriate for younger children, and I just don't think that most kids would be able to handle a game that has this many rules to it. That being said, it is a lot of fun, and if you enjoy the feeling of chaining together crazy combos, you should definitely keep it on your radar. As this is a prototype copy, I'll not be giving Mons and Mages a formal review score at this time. What I can say is that it's a lot of fun, with plenty there for fans of puzzly engine builders. Mons and Mages is aiming to hit Kickstarter on October 25th. If you're interested in backing or learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Mons and Mages? What engine builders do you enjoy? Have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view? Leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.